Imagine a tribe that not only shuns the outside world, but responds with a violence that surpasses any work of fiction. Today we are venturing into the unknown to uncover the 6 most dangerous, aggressive, and violent tribes on the planet. These communities aren't just elusive. They've taken the defense of their territory and traditions to extremely violent heights, challenging any attempts at contact or approach. Stick around until the end to discover the tribe whose methods of warfare and protection rituals are so intense, they'll make you reconsider everything you thought you knew about human nature. Asaro. In the shadows of Papua New Guinea's dense forests, the Asaro mudmen hold a reputation that echoes through the valleys of the eastern highlands. This tribe, famed for their ghostly clay masks and bodies shrouded in mud, once turned their appearance into a weapon, becoming the embodiment of nightmarish spirits to terrify their enemies into defeat. But why are encounters with the Asaro laced with danger? It's not just their unsettling masks or the cannibal lineage that whispers through their ranks. It's their mastery of psychological warfare. With every inch of their skin cloaked in mud and their faces hidden behind grotesque clay masks adorned with pig teeth and bamboo claws, they're not just humans. They're fearsome specters of the forest. Surviving an encounter with the mudmen? If you're an outsider, your odds are slim, but not because they're cannibals eager to add you to their menu. Those days are mostly behind them, but because they've honed the art of instilling primal fear. To stumble upon them, especially adorned for battle or ritual, is to face the living embodiment of terror. Their appearance alone could send the unprepared running, heart-pounding, through the treacherous terrain of their homeland. The Mercy. In the heart of Ethiopia, hidden among ancient fossils whispering humanity's earliest secrets, the Mercy tribe lives a life untouched by time. Imagine stepping into their world. Straight away, you're not just an outsider, you're a potential threat. Their land is their fortress, guarded not by walls, but by warriors ready to strike at the first sign of intrusion. Here's the deal. The Mercy aren't just another tribe. They're among the most aggressive you could ever stumble upon. Armed to the teeth with weapons that could have protected their way of life for generations, they stand ready to defend their traditions with ferocity that's both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Why so dangerous, you ask? For starters, their entire identity is wrapped up in strength and survival. From the clay discs stretching their women's lips to the deep scars marking their men's victories in battle, every aspect of their appearance screams warrior. These aren't just decorations. They're badges of honor, symbols of a life lived on the edge. The Mercy don't play by the rules we know. Theirs is a world where disputes are settled by blood and steel. Step into their territory uninvited, and your chances of walking out drop to nearly zero. They're not evil, but fiercely protective of what's theirs. To them, an outsider isn't just a visitor. You could be a threat to everything they hold dear. Korowai. Deep in the tangled heart of Papua New Guinea's rainforests, the Korowai tribe lives a life far removed from anything you or I could imagine. Here in a world where the canopy blots out the sky and the earth teems with unseen life, the Korowai practice a tradition that might just freeze your blood. They are known to consume those they capture. Now, let's get something straight. Stumbling upon the Korowai isn't like walking into your neighbor's yard by mistake. This is a place where the very air feels ancient, and the rules of modern society do not apply. The Korowai live high above the ground in treehouses, masters of their domain, with an intimate knowledge of the lethal jungle that serves as their fortress. Why are they considered so dangerous? It's simple. Their belief in the act of consuming prisoners. To them, it's not barbarism. It's a deeply ingrained part of their culture, a ritual that ties them to the forest and the spirits they believe in. This isn't about hunger. It's about spiritual belief, power, and the cycle of life and death in one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth. If you find yourself in their territory, your chances of a peaceful encounter are slim. You're not just an outsider. You're potentially the next participant in a ritual as old as the tribe itself. The Korowai don't see you as we see each other. To them, you could represent something entirely different, something mystical, or even threatening to their way of life. Sentinel Island. In the remote reaches of the Indian Ocean lies North Sentinel Island, home to the Sentinelese tribe, arguably the most isolated and dangerous tribe on Earth. This tribe has fiercely protected its seclusion from the modern world, violently repelling any attempts at contact. The story of John Allen Chow, a missionary who ventured onto the island in an attempt to convert the tribe to Christianity, underscores the extreme risk of such endeavors. Despite warnings and legal restrictions against approaching the island, Chow's efforts ended tragically when he was killed by the Sentinelese shortly after landing. The Sentinelese aggression stems from their total isolation and a deep-seated need to protect their way of life from external influences. Their hostility towards outsiders isn't personal, it's a matter of survival. In their world, untouched by global developments, every stranger is a potential threat, perhaps bringing diseases or cultural disruption. What are the chances of survival for an outsider in North Sentinel? Virtually zero. The Indian government prohibits any contact with the Sentinelese, both to safeguard their traditional way of life and to protect outsiders from potential harm. This isolation, maintained by both law and the tribe's readiness to use lethal force, keeps North Sentinel Island as one of the last truly untouched places on Earth, wrapped in mystery and danger. Shuar. In the dense heart of the Amazon, between Peru and Ecuador, lurks the Shuar tribe. Known for a tradition straight out of a horror story, they shrink the heads of their enemies, transforming them into eerie trophies the size of your fist. This isn't just for scares, it's a deep part of their culture, believed to capture and imprison the souls of their foes. Why does this make the Shuar dangerous? To them, this act is a powerful statement of victory and spiritual dominance. If you were to cross paths with them and somehow became an enemy, the odds wouldn't be in your favor. Your head might end up as a miniature mummified trophy, hanging alongside others. Your chances of surviving an unfriendly encounter with the Shuar are slim. While they're not actively seeking out heads to shrink these days, their fierce warrior spirit and profound beliefs in the spiritual realm remind us that the Amazon holds secrets and practices beyond our wildest imaginations. Aghori. The Aghori, which translates to non-terrifying in Sanskrit, are far from what their name might suggest to the uninitiated. This sect, shrouded in the dark cloak of mysticism, dwells in the realm of the dead. Cemeteries and cremation grounds, to be precise. Their practices are not for the faint-hearted, living among corpses, consuming human flesh, and drinking from human skulls. It's their path to forge a deeper connection with the gods of death and destruction, Shiva and Shakti. The Aghori belief system is radically inclusive. They see the divine in everything, and make no distinction between human and animal flesh. They engage in practices like necrophilia, though they draw the line at homosexuality, which is strictly forbidden within their sect. Joining the Aghori means embracing solitude, severing ties with family, and emerging from seclusion only once every 3 years for the Kamela, a mass Hindu pilgrimage of faith. For the average person, encountering an Aghori might seem like a brush with bad luck, as the rest of the Indian population tends to believe. But the real question here is about danger and survival. The Aghori, in their quest for spiritual enlightenment, are not inherently violent towards outsiders. Their lifestyle, though extreme, is focused on achieving a state of non-duality and liberation from the cycle of reincarnation. However, their practices can be dangerous due to the health risks associated with consuming decomposing flesh and potentially toxic substances. For an outsider, the physical danger might not come directly from the Aghori, but from the hazardous environment in which they thrive. Are you surviving an encounter with the Aghori? You're unlikely to face harm if you respect their space and approach them with an open mind. The true peril lies not in the people themselves, but in misunderstanding their practices and the health risks of their environment. The Aghori challenge our notions of purity, pollution, life, and death, standing as a stark reminder of the spectrum of human belief and ritual. As we journey through the shadows of our world, from the dense foliage of the Amazon to the secluded islands of the Indian Ocean and into the heart of Papua New Guinea's eerie landscapes, we've encountered tribes that challenge our understanding of civilization, survival, and spirituality. Each story, From the Agori's macabre rituals to the Asaro Mudmen's terrifying visages, peels back the layers of humanity's diverse cultural tapestry, revealing practices and beliefs as varied as they are astonishing. The Agori's profound belief in the sacredness of all life and death reminds us of the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical. At the same time, the Shuar's head-shrinking rites speak to the complex ways in which honor and fear can shape societies. Meanwhile, the Sentinelese fierce isolation underscores the vast differences in how communities interact with the outside world. And the Asaro Mudmen's hunting appearances reveal the power of image and myth in warfare and identity. But what binds these diverse narratives is not just the element of danger or the thrill of the unknown. It's a reminder that our planet is home to an incredible mosaic of human experiences. Each tribe, with its unique practices, offers a window into the myriad ways humans have found to relate to one another, to the natural world, and to the unseen forces they believe govern their existence. As we conclude this video, let's carry with us not just the chilling tales of cannibal ancestry or battles fought in the guise of demons, but a deeper appreciation for the complexity and richness of human culture. Our world is a vast, interconnected web of stories, beliefs, and traditions. Each is deserving of respect as they are of our curiosity and wonder. Ultimately, these tribes teach us about the limits of our understanding and the boundless possibilities of the human spirit to adapt, survive, and thrive in the face of the unfathomable. If you're fascinated by more intriguing historical and mythological content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Dive into the mysteries of our past with us.